Oh no. Okay. All right. I'm gonna kick you here. All right. So Eric, if you can hear me, just come back. All right, come back. Good thing there aren't any isn't anybody here because all right, let's see if we can do this. Let's try it. Okay, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you. That's way
Okay.
better.
Yep.
I was like, "Oh shit, are we gonna?" Luckily, nobody's listening, so it's fine.
Yeah,
It's okay.
that's good.
No pressure, you know.
Yeah.
So what did you? Were you shocked when you first heard about the plea deal?
Yeah, I was totally shocked. Yeah, because I mean, it's so late in the game, and like I
Yeah.
was,
No, I know. I agree. I mean, I said I wasn't shocked, but I mean, I wasn't like, oh my god. But I was just kind of like, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah. Like that's what I heard. I heard. I mean, people said it's probably going to play it, but I thought it's pretty late, and like I mean, I mean, I still thought he did it, but I thought he still had a chance of, with a jury of getting out of it.
So before he pled guilty, you kind of in the back of your mind was kind of like, he's probably guilty. It's probably him.
Yeah, I think there's too many coincidences with the evidence. Like
Yeah.
just
No, I understand. Come here, Winston. No, I totally get it. It's interesting. But I think it's cool because even though you felt that way, I would have never known that until you just said it. And it doesn't make a difference to me one way or the other because, I like we've said before, it's not like I have skin in the game,
yeah,
this court system isn't paying the bills or anything. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. And but I do think it was pretty hard to do alone.
I agree. And that's the thing. Like the plea deal actually just creates a lot more mystery surrounding this whole thing. It doesn't answer one question whatsoever, even if Bryan Kohberger did it, only because, and I only say that because I'm positive he's involved in some way. It doesn't make any sense for him to plead guilty if he has no knowledge or wasn't there or complicit in some way. I'm positive of that. But the role he played I'm still very interested in, and I think there's a lot left to find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the way the plea went down, like I felt it was like he put himself on a public stage, and I think he's gonna like Kathleen Ramsden's gonna write a book on him, like just and I think the stage like the whole world was watching because the plea was shocked everybody, and then the way he was stood there, and I think that he liked that. Like that was
Yeah,
his.
I agree. It was interesting to I mean, here's the thing, I really wanted the trial because I wanted to see the proof. Because again, for me, the touch DNA just wasn't cutting it. And I still feel like there's a lot there's a lot of shenanigans that went down with that touch DNA. I did several videos on it. It's actually what interested me the most about this case because the way that the FBI and Othram juggled it back and forth about nobody really knew who went in and looked at the databases that they weren't supposed to. Like that stuff bothers me a lot because that reminds me of shit like those futuristic crime movies. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I still think they got Brian backwards. Like someone said his name, and then they went backwards to make him
Good. I'm glad you admit that because I feel the same way. Like, there's no way they didn't get him the good old fashioned detective way. And I don't know if they could have. And that's the thing. People kept saying, oh, he didn't, he's so smart, but he got caught in this and that. Actually, I think he got caught in spite of himself. Like, he did leave that sheath there. He fucked it, he got fucked up there. But I think outside of the sheath, like, it would have been hard to charge the guy, I think. Think about it. Without that
yeah,
sheath, I mean, they had some like cell data shit that you could argue either way, and they had the car, which is like, it's in the dark, and they don't even have connection on his cell phone to these kids. So like without that sheath, he would have gotten away with it, don't you think?
yeah. See, yeah. I think it would have been harder to get him, but I mean, there's a bunch of other things like just him ordering the knife, and the Dickies, and just there's a lot of coincidences. Like
I agree. Those are
the
things that that's fair, Eric. Before I would have dismissed those, but being more level-headed now after he's made a confession, like those things do matter. They actually absolutely do
and
matter.
it's like five or six things. It's not one. It's there's a few of them. Like even the phone turning off and
Mhm,
stargazing when it's 22 degrees out. Like there's a
mhm.
few things that don't make sense.
Yeah, no, the alibi. He never had an alibi, and that's why I wonder. Like, it's really an interesting case overall, and people be writing. It's going to be like a Manson thing, although Manson ended up, not being real. They obviously they admitted that there's books about it now, but um, but there are going to be so many books about it because if he did plan this, I feel like this is something like he wanted to do for a long time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, how he picked these people, I just think it was like like I think he just was met people who were going to do this, and he said, "Oh, I'll get away with it," and because he's a background, and got himself involved in
Mhm.
it, and then
Mhm.
they kind of said, "All right, let him do it," and like
Well, I mean, I really do. One of the things that I wanted to see at trial, and one of the things that I thought that I think is a big piece of evidence is the Reddit survey. Um, they mentioned it a little bit in that Amazon Prime series, and a couple of the criminology students said something like, "Yeah, that's kind of unusual questions he was asking." Like, remember how people were like, even I was like, "I think that's normal. That's a normal criminology." But when you look at it, it's actually not normal at all. And even like other students were like, "Yeah, it was kind of on the edge of like ethical and stuff like that."
yeah, yeah, this yeah, they were like, yeah, like what do you like? Wasn't it? How do you leave the crime scene, or like
How did you
do you
feel
clean up?
afterwards? How did you pick your victims?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it's creepy, right? And I get it, like you really want to get inside the criminal mind, but then you hear these the thing I did a video a long time ago, even feeling like I thought he was giving him presumption of innocence because I really didn't like the way the state case. I don't like the way the state went about the case. It was bullshit. And like you said, it was like they got his name and worked backwards. I don't like that. I think uh, it's not fair. It's not the way that we're supposed to be practicing justice, right? You can't cheat that way when you're the state, and that concerns me. But at the same time, I was like, he could, that they, why did they get him? And I did a video. The whole thing was about the visual snow. Is all I'm trying to get to.
okay,
Visual snow thing, and I thought if one thing is the motive, it's his visual snow, meaning he doesn't see, he said it himself, right? That he doesn't see people as people, and he himself feels like a sack of meat, right? Like he
yeah,
said
yeah,
that,
yep, no emotion.
no emotions. And the fucked up part and the sad part about it is he has insight into that. And I think a lot of people that feel that way don't have that insight. So that's what makes it more interesting to me is
Yeah,
that,
yeah, that's.
you
I
know,
mean, he never said a word either. Like, what it's been 2.5 years. You never heard him say a word walking into court. Like, like
Nothing. He's just been silent. And I think, it's just it's it's interesting. Um I think wait, there was something else I wanted to say though about it wasn't about the Reddit survey. It was about the visual snow. Oh, and then his friend. There was one friend on the Amazon Prime show. I don't know if you saw.
I watched it.
Right. And the one guy, he said that he met him, he was his biology partner or some kind of science project partner, and that he was really smart, that he
Yes,
was
I remember that. Yeah.
quiet. Do you heard that guy? And
Yep.
then at the end, he said something, and I believed him. I didn't think he was just saying it to be dramatic. He said, I thought about it, and he is the kind of guy that I could see doing that because he's very robotic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he wasn't trying to shit on him or anything, but I just thought it was an interesting insight.
And he said something like, he wouldn't have left the sheath. We were trained like things like that, or something like. And he said a couple
Yeah.
things like how what they learned in the class. Of course, the cloud forensics too. He said we learned all about that. If I mean, he took the class that making those mistakes he shouldn't have made. So he says something about that. Like we were taught
Yeah.
better than that. Like, but he's like, but you never, looks like he did it. So
I think that his autism is important to bring up. We have somebody in the chat. Hello, sipping on.
Hello.
Hello, end of the line. Thanks for joining us. He's saying, I'm sorry, I just want to read what we're saying. What he's saying. His cloud forensic is the key, in my opinion. Maybe he knew something ahead of time, not necessarily involved, but knew something. And then people on spectrum have a deficit in theory of mind. They have tremendous trouble understanding others' thought patterns. Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know a lot about autism spectrum disorder, but I do tend to like know who people with autism are, and I, like many other people, suspected before they told us that Bryan Kohberger was on the spectrum in some way. Did you feel that way, Eric?
No, I don't.
No.
I didn't feel like. I mean, everyone talking about like he's a genius and all. I mean, I know you could still be a genius, but I thought he's just. And I was he's into this stuff, and I
Right.
think he was like met people that were gonna do this, and I think he just said he wanted to be in on it. He seen an
Yeah.
opportunity, and he was like, and then the way he probably talked to them, he seemed like, wow, he could get away with this.
Yeah. I mean, well, they could have been part of his survey is you're basically asking criminals, to divulge how they're feeling. And, if you met a group of people and he was like, okay, I'm going to observe it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's criminal. Hi, Lucy Morningstar. What's up, girl?
I
You know what
also
I'm
think,
saying? Like that's criminal. Like, and I have to say, I've said this in a couple before. I found some old pictures, like not old, but I found 4chan pictures. One of the pictures on 4chan was posted like early on. I don't know exactly when, but basically it was like a black screen. That's all they posted, right? And I was
yeah.
like, this is there's something in this. So I downloaded it, even though you shouldn't really do that on 4chan, but I took a chance and I did. And then I lightened it and I ran it through filters and all this shit. And lo and behold, there was a fucking picture in there. And the picture is the one that I show on my posts. And I've shown it in one of my videos. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about Streamlabs. I don't know what's going on. Streamlabs is saying I have a Streamlab bot and it's saying it needs to be added as a moderator because they're upset about shit. I don't even know what. Fuck Streamlabs, okay? Sorry, guys. Ignore the Streamlab bot. She's a Nazi bot. I didn't even invite her back. I removed her. But anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about.
uh, oh, you're talking about your picture, the picture in the black.
Oh yeah, so when I did all the I didn't add anything to it. I just shadow, brighten this and that. And the picture is there's a guy like this,
I
and
seen it. I know. Yeah, I know the
yeah,
picture.
and he's got the iron cross, and I see his face outlined, and he looks a lot like a lot of people could from Idaho. Like he's kind of bald with scruff around here. It's like a blondish red. In my mind, it's black and white. I can't tell, but in the background, it looks like Brian's eyes and nose, but he has something over his mouth, and he's looking. That's every time I see that picture, I can't unsee it. But I got an idea from Birdie, which is you can upload that picture into AI and ask them to make it as realistic, blah, blah, blah. And it comes up with something. So I'll try it.
Oh, what's like
Lucy Morningstar, how are you feeling since the plea? Are you like what are your feelings, Lucy, about the plea? There's some people that are like really hardcore one way or the other, and they're getting like upset with other people and stuff, but I'm more like of the camp bonkers as fuck. Yeah. I'm more of the camp of like that's interesting. This makes everything more confusing, you know. But that he's got some culpability if he's going to plea. But I don't know. I did read an article. Are you still there, Eric?
yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I was just listening. I'm here.
Yeah, I read an article, and let me just pull it up for a second because I thought it was pretty interesting. If I can, it's it was actually about. Hold on, justice. Here it is. There's this website. It's called Justice Case Analysis, and this woman is really good. Like she follows different cases and gives her opinion on them. She's not a lawyer, but this is like a hobby of hers apparently. She did some things on Karen Reed, and then she does some things on Kohberger, and that's the thing I wanted to read because I thought it was interesting. Okay, so let me pull it up. The shocking Bryan Kohberger guilty plea, what we still don't understand. Bryan Kohberger's guilty plea sent shockwaves, not just because of the admission itself, but because of the strange, suffocating stillness that clung to the courtroom as he delivered it. He sat stiff and motionless at the defense table, his posture so rigid it seemed his body had chosen the third instinct of fight, flight, or freeze. Each yes he uttered was clipped and deliberate, echoing across a legal and psychological minefield. Around him, the air felt thick, charged with conflicting emotions. On one side of the gallery, the Gonsalves family radiated grief and fury. Christy Gonsalves' eyes welled with pain as she stared ahead, while her sister dabbed tears with a tissue. To their left, prosecutor Bill Thompson looked weary, his face lined with the burden of explaining a plea many found unthinkable. On the defense side, Ann Taylor maintained a calm, almost maternal presence beside Bryan. She smiled faintly at him from time to time, her eyes softening as if guiding a child through an impossibly complex task. I agree. I got that from that. I definitely do. Kohberger rose with military precision to take his oath, his rigid movements betraying an internal tension. Judge Stephen Hippler told him he didn't need to stand for each answer, but appreciated the respect to the court. Was Kohberger expressing politeness or a carefully cultivated performance? Some courtroom observers suggest he craved control over his image, while others wondered if the reality of his crimes had finally frozen him in place. Meanwhile, outside the courtroom, Steve Gonsalves staged his own act of protest. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
He was like, it was just like a movie scene. Like I was picturing an actor in a movie playing this scene like 5 years from now or less, like the way his hair was slicked back and everything. I don't blame him, man. He's losing his mind over this shit.
Yeah, I think Steve knows a lot too. I think a lot of the evidence that we haven't seen, I think Steve's seen, because he has a private investigator from day one, who I think is like the police. Like he was making sure that no funny business with hiding stuff from Steve.
No, I agree. I agree that this is actually a really good article. I'm going to add it to my post if people want to read it. And then there's another one. I can't find it now. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, do you think Ann found a smoking gun in the evidence like recently and just said, nah?
I mean,
Like,
no, I don't know. I can't. Well, here, I found the article I wanted to read, and it's the same woman. It's called, and this is something I've heard people talk about, like, oh, this is a strategy, right? So she goes, is Bryan Kohberger plea deal a confession or a defense strategy? My dog is literally crying because he's not getting attention. Yeah. Come here. Come on. Okay, Lucy Morningstar says nope. I'm assuming meaning that it's not a defense strategy. I mean, I don't think it's a defense strategy. I'm just saying some people do, and this lady wrote the article, so let's just see what she says here. Bryan Kohberger's guilty plea has left the public reeling, closing what many believed would be one of the most closely watched trials in modern American criminal history. That's true. I mean, this shit was gearing up to be bigger than OJ.
yeah, definitely.
It's going to be insane. Winston, stop. Come here, Winston. Come on. He's mad because I'm talking. It's like fucking ridiculous. All right. Now he's going to sit in my lap. Maybe he'll feel better. Okay. And his little cousins here, Archie. Archie's visiting. I have my parents' dog right now. Go with Archie. Stop being an ass. Oh, and I got this book today too. I'm going to start reading it.
Is that the Patterson book?
Yeah. It came in the mail. I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered that Bloom one too, but I
got the Bloom one.
My dog ate it, so I only read like the first couple chapters. I was pissed. All right, so 29-year-old criminology PhD student at Washington State accused. Okay, we know all this. The crime stunned everyone, but now with a guilty plea entered in open court and the death penalty off the table, the question must be asked: was this a confession or a strategic retreat? All right, let's see. Oh, and no, I don't think that Anne found damning evidence. I do think that this is a strategy. Okay. And her pit bull hippopotamus is the same way. Yeah. I mean, fortunately, my dog this one is pretty much a lap dog, but my other one isn't, my golden doodle, and she just wants to hug people constantly. Well, she nut checks every man that walks in the house. As soon as they walk in, I'm like, oh, sorry. And then she hugs them. So, it's crazy. But anyway, all right. So, okay, one person who has never wavered publicly on Kohberger's innocence is his lead public defender. Oh, end of line. Yeah, I'm sorry. First of all, this is my first live in a while because StreamYard locked me out, and don't ask me why. Okay, I don't even care, but I'm back. And Streamlabs, which I canceled and don't pay for anymore, has decided to be a Nazi bot in the chat. So if you're getting kicked or anything, that is not me. That is Streamlabs. I'm going to correct it prior to the next time, but I don't kick people it's got to be bad for me to even hide something. It's almost never going to happen. So anyway, all right. So one person who has never wavered, right? We know Ann Taylor, right? She got yelled at too. That's hilarious. So yeah, because everybody goes back to this, and I go back to this too, which was Ann Taylor. Come up here. Ann Taylor saying like Brian's innocent, Your Honor, or whatever. And I wouldn't have given it as much weight except for I fucking follow Peter Tragos. And he's like, that's the big deal, blah, that doesn't know. And I'm like, okay, it's a lawyer. He knows. But then afterwards, when he accepted the plea, of course, hindsight's 2020, he asked his dad, and his dad had the argument that he's heard many lawyers in federal court say that because at that point in time, he is innocent. He's cloaked in the presumption of innocence. And so she's not lying when she says it in that sense. And I'm like, okay, I guess so. I don't.
Peter's my go-to.
What's that?
I go to Peter. I always watch Peter.
I love Peter. And
Yeah.
I'm not he doesn't know everything, but he knows a lot. And if he doesn't know it, he figures it out. If he's wrong, he tells you. But he's great.
And he's biased too. He doesn't pick a side. He just tells you what's it.
He does. And people get pissed off at him. And I'm like, it's kind of mostly how I am. Like, I don't get attached to these things. Like they're like I said, paying my bills. I always think of that line in A Bronx Tale. Robert De Niro says it to his kid. He's like, what are you running around like this, worried about this baseball player? So that Mickey, whatever, doesn't pay my mortgage or whatever. And it's like, shit, he's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I'm still interested in it, But anyway, so, all right, let's look at this, just a little bit more of this, the back of this here. So she's fought fiercely to build a defense that included exploring alternative suspects, highlighting weaknesses in the state's digital and physical evidence, and most recently attempting to introduce the third-party DNA connections. Those efforts were thwarted when he denied the motion, right? Now, do you remember the third-party one? So, there were some people saying that one of them was Kopaka. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
You know what I said? Like, if they needed a patsy, they could have blamed Kopaka, and he's just went with that. And how would have that turned out?
It would have done any different, right?
It would but it would have been over. He's like dead. Like, I mean, someone would have to come with it, fight for him. You know what I mean? Like, they had the DNA. They could have did a whole bunch of stuff.
A lot of people thought it was Kopaka the day it happened too. There was a bunch of rumors that have persisted to this day. And the weird thing about Kopaka is it's not like I've spent time like maybe other people looking into things like families and people and whatever is of interest in the public eye, right? And I've done this probably for 7 years now. And so when you do that, you get a feel for what's available on public databases for a person, what's available if you do the paid one like Truth Finder. You get an idea of what like a real person looks like. And so when you start to look at people, like in this case, for example, like Ethan Chapin and Madison Mogen or Brent Kopaka, they don't have the profile of what a quote real person looks like. Meaning, when I look them up on a public profile or a paid or whatever, there's always weirdness abounding. And so I'm not saying that they're not real or nobody died or whatever, but I am saying it's suspicious to me because it's not just one person in this Idaho thing. It's quite a few that have this kind of missing history. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And so I
You know, I,
can't
I use
ignore
Truth
that.
Finder.
I'm sorry?
I use Truth Finder.
Yeah, I use Truth Finder. I have a new one. It's an AI one, and it's supposed to like pull from all these database. It's like shit that a private investigator would use, but I was able to purchase because it's like trial. I don't fucking know, but yeah, I mean, I try to use as many tools that I can without being law enforcement. I did look into becoming a private investigator because I wanted to use the tools that private investigators can use. But it turns out in my state, at least, and I think quite a few, you actually have to be prior law enforcement in order to get a license to be a private investigator. Have you heard that?
No, I didn't need that. I just know as Truth Finder, I think it costs like 30. It cost me like $30 a month or something, and I could run anyone's name. I mean, and
Yeah, you run their name and it gives you all their shit. So you know what I mean when I say if you've been doing that for a while, and journalists do this shit all the time. They probably are able to use some of the cool investigative tools. But regardless, you know what it looks like when you run a name on somebody.
yeah,
Oh, okay. There's not weirdness abounding. But in this case, it seems like quite a few of these people, when you look them up, and I get it. Some people are smart. And if I was involved in some crazy shit like this, I've already done it. So I've done it. I'm not involved in crazy shit. They're smart enough to remove their name from public databases, but that takes a while. It could take a few years to get your name removed from this shit. And you have to keep up on it constantly. They couldn't possibly, not this many people could possibly do that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, that's why I ran my name first to see what it said about me, like what. But it knew I lived in Las Vegas. I knew my few addresses I had. So, but it also tells you how many mortgages you have, if you went bankrupt. It says a lot of things on there.
That's what I'm saying. And so you try to do that for somebody like Bryan Kohberger, you run into trouble. It doesn't pan out. And like I've been able, like many, and I'm not the only one, to piece together some of his family tree and some of his family history, and some of it's interesting, but there's a lot that's missing and unexplained. It makes no sense. And I've seen pictures of like his sisters, particularly one of them when they were much younger, that were like kind of concerning for just weirdness, and I don't know if that's real or if it's just more bullshit in this case. It's all the loosh, I call it. It's called loosh. It's
Yeah,
just like it traps your focus and energy for hours and it doesn't produce anything. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
but anyway, let's see what Lucy's saying here. Not unless the UI is helping to remove that stuff. Yeah. I mean, UI has UI, when I heard, like, you hear University of Idaho, okay, it's a public university, whatever. It's pretty elite in a lot of areas, especially in the agriculture field, and also in DNA, and what was the other one? They do a lot of like hybrid farming and shit. And NASA even gave them money. So they're a pretty prominent university. I didn't realize that.
Oh wow, so they have specialties there. People go there for.
Yeah, I mean, oh great. Now they're gonna build a Hadron Collider. A partial accelerator. Oh, just partial. Okay, good. We have one that's already fucking with the dimensions over in Switzerland. That thing's a whole rabbit hole. Have you ever looked into that?
No.
The Large Hadron Collider. What's it called? Oh my god. Oh gosh. What's it called, Lucy Morningstar? You know the name of it because you're bringing up the Hadron Colliders. I'm gonna have to look it up now. Hold on. When I CERN. You know what CERN is?
Stern or CERN?
CERN. I'm sorry, CERN. CERN. Yeah.
No, I never.
You don't know what CERN is?
Nope.
Eric, you see this word right here? I'm going to put it up. I'm going to
I
highlight it. See
I
that?
just wrote it down in my book. I got it.
You're when we get done here, you're going to look this up and you're going to be reading about this for the next probably week.
All right, I'll check it out.
CERN is the largest hadron collider in the world. They're smashing atoms. They're trying to make the smallest possible particle available. They're trying to find the God particle, they said, but they actually found it, apparently. But there's a whole lot of lore with CERN too. When I first started looking into CERN, it was like 7 years ago, and it was because of the Mandela effect. And what happened was, um, I was learning about the Mandela effect because I was like, Mandela died in prison years ago from TB, which I found an article that said he was almost dead, but it didn't say he was dead from TB. But anyway, and then I'm like, why the fuck do I think this? And then I went into the whole Mandela thing, and it led me um, to CERN. And then CERN had this opening ceremony that was like, you'll see it if you look into CERN. Their original opening ceremony, the cutting the ribbon, they had this like crazy, like, it just looks like a hedonistic, sort of ritualistic, satanic dance. It's fucking insane. And then when you learn what the Hadron Collider does, they removed a lot of this, but in the beginning, when I looked it up, I still have the screenshots. A lot of people died mysteriously at CERN. Some of them committed suicide because a lot of them get into the whole paradox, like the Fermi paradox and like simulation theory, and they're so smart and they go crazy.
So it's a cult?
No, it's not a cult. It's a group of, well, it could be, but it's a group of scientists who are trying to find, they're basically like looking for the smallest possible particles. So they're smashing the atoms together. But the problem is you can create a ripple in like the in time, apparently, with this, or dimension. I'm not smart enough to explain that to you, but if you look into CERN, you'll hear it. But the reason I brought up CERN and Mandela is because when I first started looking at Mandela, I was watching a CERN video popped up, and they were singing that song "Happy" from and I'm happy to come along, and if I can't remember how it goes, but anyway, they were singing it, and this guy fucking held up a sign that said Mandela on it. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, because they made that video like a year before like the Mandela effect started coming about. So anyway, it's just a bunch of lore and rabbit holes, but it's a real place and they do real scientific shit there.
The Mandela effect, that's where you like think you've seen something said this way and it's said another way. Like, is that?
Here's a Mandela effect. And I'll tell you the biggest Mandela effect for me that makes me, and I have a personal, actual, like, I have an actual personal Mandela effect. And it's fucking crazy, but I'll explain what a Mandela effect is first. Did you ever see the movie with, oh God, what's his name? Not Shaq. The other guy. Wait, I gotta look up his name because this
Well, I
is
know something with Star Wars, right? They said like
what
he
is it?
doesn't say. I heard like the Darth Vader in Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
I think he says.
yeah, because at the end, or at one point, what's his name says Luke. What does he say?
I'm your father, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, but they say that's not what he says anymore. The other one is mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? They changed that too. It's different. And if you go and watch the movie, because I have, it says something different than what I just said. And then Berenstain and Berenstain Bears is another one that they go nuts with. Hold on for 1 minute. But this is the one I wanted to tell you about. Hold on. Because this is the one that makes me the craziest. It's this actor. Oh, another one is Sorry, I'm just trying to find the one. Jiffy. Even though the name of your peanut butter doesn't quite matter, some people swear that the peanut butter was actually named Jiffy and not just Jif. Speculators think that people might be confusing Jiffy with Skippy. Did you know that? It's not Jiffy, it's Jif.
Yeah, I thought Jiffy too, but
Right. So that's one, it's an example. And then some of them are just, I think people just remember them differently, like Sex in the City and Sex and the City. I don't feel like that's really quite, but trying to find the Ford logo. But the one that really bothers me the most, damn it, where is it? He's hold on. Not Shaq. Mandela effect. Pirates of, no, it's not that one. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about? I can't find it now.
what
Oh
is
yeah,
it?
the wand in the Disney opening. Monopoly and the guy. Yeah, the guy. Do you think the guy in Monopoly has a monocle? Or no?
Yeah, doesn't
He
it?
doesn't though, but he doesn't. Well, the one where the Nazis used the Star of David instead of, well, the swastika, like the Germans really fucked up that symbol for a lot of cultures, because there are many cultures, including Hindus, that like that they draw that symbol on religious ceremonies and things like that. So the Nazis, it's because the Nazis were into mysticism. They were very into like time travel, astrology, all that shit. You heard about like the thing that in our Antarctica, they had a special base there where they did like a lot of stuff. Did you know that?
No, I did not. For the
Yeah.
Nazis?
Yeah, the Nazis. Look up Nazis in Antarctica. There's like books written on it. It's fucking crazy. And then Captain Cook or Captain, what's his name? Captain Bird, I think he went to Antarctica. I have the newspaper. I have some of the newspapers because I find them online in the archives and I save them when I find them. Because, like in 1984, when they go back and rewrite history, the first thing they do is get rid of all the old newspapers. Just so you know. So books are really important to keep. People don't think that, but they are. But they change shit. They re-educate and shit. But anyway, there's a story where he says that he went from one pole to the other through the center and he traveled quickly and it was in this like aerial spaceship. And he's being on, like he tells the truth, like he's telling the truth, but that's not a highly publicized story. But he talks about some crazy shit in Antarctica when he first got there and stuff. And now you can't go to certain parts of Antarctica. You can go on a cruise to Antarctica, but only certain parts. There's even videos online that show this guy. He's like, yeah, you can't go there. And they're flying and you see like fighter jets come and basically accompany them until they turn around. They'll shoot your ass down. If you
Oh
try
wow.
to boat, they'll shoot you down. Did you know that?
No. No,
They're,
no, I didn't know nothing about
they're
that.
guarding a ton of shit in Antarctica. It's like a whole rabbit hole unto itself, but it's worth reading about because of the climate change and everything's warming up and Antarctica, a lot of stuff is melting and they're finding like some crazy stuff. And if you go on Google Earth, you can see some of it, but they hide so much of what's going. Antarctica is probably like a freaking paradise. It's
Did you
probably,
hear that what happened in Texas was cloud seeding?
I heard that. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, they've
Yeah.
been doing it since like what, World War One or two. I mean, they've been doing it. And then when people say, "Oh, those are chemtrails," you're called a conspiracy theorist. But then there's states like Florida that ban chemtrails. So if they don't exist, like that's like banning unicorns. Like if they're not around, believe in unicorns. Why are we banning unicorns? Okay, well then obviously there's a fucking problem in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand that bullshit. Like, I don't fall for that,
Yeah,
like
no.
You're not going to make me feel crazy when I know what I'm looking at. Like, I'm done with that. I'm so over that stuff because I did that for so long, you know?
I don't trust any of them.
Mm-mm. You can't. You
The
can't.
second you go against them, you're crazy.
I was laughing. We were laughing last night about when they were trying to make everybody get the vaccine, and they were offering. I remember at one point watching the governor of California have a wheel, like a lottery wheel. They were like auctioning shit off. Do you remember that? They were giving lottery tickets, Krispy Kreme donuts, and
Yeah,
ice
yeah, yeah.
cream. And
Even
I'm
like
like,
$100, I thought some people could get.
yeah, and you could get like out and out burger, whatever. And I'm like, yo, like if I didn't think there was something wrong already, this sealed the deal for me. Like when you've got the governor of California being like, hey, you can have an out and out burger too. Just bring the whole family. I'm like, there's something fucking wrong. Okay. If you didn't already think something was up, that was your clue, you know? Like,
Yeah,
wow,
definitely.
that was some crazy shit.
They're injecting the burgers.
I know. I can't. And then Africa. Do you remember the president or somebody, whatever the person in charge as an Africa president or prime minister, came forward and he goes, they're full. He's like, they're lying. They said that this was positive for COVID, and we tested, and it was like they had taken it from like a dead fish or a tree or something. They were laughing. I remember that too. I was
Oh,
like, this is crazy, man.
that was a crazy time.
I think that time has had a lot bigger of effect on our society and us as individuals than we maybe that I'm going to say that at least I recognized until recently.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think changed a lot. Things are real different. I think like public public events are different.
Hmm. It's just I feel like for some people it broke them spiritually. I don't know any other way to put it. I'm just being really blunt. I feel like it broke some people spiritually because the types of crimes that we're seeing at the I just I don't know, maybe it's just that saliency effect where I'm interested in it so I see it more, but I just feel like the crimes and the rate and the horrific nature of them and the people that are doing them are like a lot different and more frequent than they used to be. Am I going crazy or?
No, no, I think it's just a lot of crime too. It's just, I mean, it's like, I think crime gets worse and worse as years go on too. Like with the things that go on.
I mean, like you can curb it, like New York City, even though what's his name? I can't remember his name now. The 9/11 mayor, the guy,
Oh,
Giuliani.
Giuliani.
Yeah, Giuliani came in there and he did some, the stop and frisk and shit, but he cleaned it up. Okay, but some of the stuff I didn't agree with. Regardless, now it's going to shit again. I mean, it's going
Yeah,
to shit real quick in New York City. It's kind of sketchy depending on where you got to go in certain areas that and stuff. What do you
yeah, yeah.
think about New York now?
I think the I think the government's doing more crime now too.
Oh, oh, hold on, wait. I just want to tell Tinsel. Hold on, Tinsel. Are my chat sizzle Tinsel? I have the Nazi stream bot, the Streamlab bot, and I didn't invite the bot, but she just decided to invade my chat. So if anything's like taken down or whatever, it's not personal. It's not me, and I am gonna get rid of it. Okay, sorry, Eric. So tell me about New York. Do you find you're in New York
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I live in New York. I live in Long Island. I live like 45 minutes from the city, east.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I'm in the suburbs, but yeah, the city's like it's bad. It's dirtier. It's like a lot more homeless.
Wait, I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry. I just have to say something. Thank God, Pencil TQ. Sinbad. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll move on from that's a Mandela effect. I'll talk about it later. I want to hear about New York. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead,
The
Eric.
city, it's a lot more homeless. Like it's working since 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot more homeless. Seems like dirtier. But I mean, it's always the crime. I don't think I. It's hard to go up. There's so much of it all the time, you know. Like
That's what I wonder. Like, I want to see the statistics. Like, you can go on FBI and stuff, but it's like are they really ever giving us the real statistics? Like, I
Yeah,
just
exactly.
don't believe any of this bullshit anymore. Like, the shit that I thought they wouldn't lie about. I'm like, they're probably lying about that too. And the thing about it is, I don't think it's all like intentional lies. I think most of it is just laziness, just sheer human laziness and failure to uphold like just simple moral and, to have simple moral values and integrity. Like, it's just those simple things. I think that's all it is. It's destroying everything.
Well, I got a whole thing. I think fentanyl is government. The government's in control of fentanyl.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. I mean, that's like in the 80s when they were dropping the boxes of guns off in like the black neighborhoods that they wanted to make bad, right?
Yep.
That's what they did. And then they made rap music. That's a real thing. I mean, let's be honest, like that music, it gets into your head. It's like drill music. They turned a whole generation of black youth and it destroyed families. It's disgusting. It's
Yeah.
absolutely just, I can't listen to rap music anymore. There's some rap I really like, but when all they're talking about is like the people's vaginas and like screwing people and pimping this and bitch that, I'm like, this is not helpful. Like, this is not enjoyable to me. Like, I don't feel cool listening to this
No.
shit. This sounds like a degenerate, like who wants to live like this? But when I was younger, I listened to some of the lyrics. It didn't bother me. And I can see how, especially a youth, when you're young, you want to be like outrageous and stuff. I can see, and it's a shame what they've done. So
Yeah.
I believe the fentanyl thing.
Plus, rap back in the day, they sold beats. The beats were what it was about. You could put whatever word you want into it, but it was all about the beats.
Hmm. Yeah, because the words were so goofy. Like, the words were goofy. Like, if you looked at the way they rhymed, like, oh my God, I'm blanking on the one. I used to go roller skating back in the day. Every
Yeah,
Saturday night. That was
I've
our
been there.
yeah, and like Van Halen came on Hot for Teacher. Everybody better watch out because me and my girl were gonna like run people. We were like so fast. But it was Sugar Hill Gang. That's
Oh
right.
yeah,
Sugar Hill Gang.
I
Yeah,
had that. I had that on vinyl.
yeah, I did too. I love that shit. And like that's the kind of stuff that's like there's no bad words in that at all. And that song is awesome. But how about this one? This is actually a funny one. The song White Lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that.
I know the word, every single word.
Me too. I know it well
Tickets
too.
hot. Ticket to ride the White Line Highway. Tell all your friends they can go my way. All your soul, pay your toll. Pound for pound costs more than gold. The harder you get it, the more you get. My white lines, you can go a long way. Either up your nose or through your veins. Tinsel. Oh my God, how old are you? A woman is never supposed to tell her age, Tinsel. But you can guess if I'm singing this song. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm a Gen Xer.
That was like that was a good one.
I'm 55. I'm not ashamed of my age. I'm
And then
55.
there's another one. I'm your pusher.
Oh yeah, yeah. They had so many good ones. Oh yeah, Blondie. Yes. Blondie. But yeah, and yeah, 90s rap was awesome. I love 90s rap. So good. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. That's such a great song from Montel. No, but there's and I love the beats, like you said in the rap. But when they start singing about like the shit they sing about. I'm just like,
Yeah.
why is this like, stop singing this? Like, I don't want to sing about like somebody pounding somebody or somebody pimping somebody or whatever. Like, it doesn't make me happy. It's like, what the fuck?
Have you heard Kanye's new song?
What's that?
Have you heard Kanye's new song?
Oh, yes, I did. I can't find it anymore, though. I only heard it once and then it was gone.
It's all over Instagram.
I'll have to take a look. The thing about Kanye, and Rapture is a great song. Rapture. Yeah, and the lines, the way she like it doesn't rhyme that great. The rhyme sucks, let's be honest, but it sounds so cool because she's like, whatever,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's great. But
Ooh.
I grew up here we go. Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd, Teddy Pendergrass. I love Pink Floyd. I loved all of them in the day, even Teddy Pendergrass. I saw Pink Floyd in concert.
Me too.
Really? I saw them in, I think it was 1989 or 90.
Giant Stadium. I seen that.
No, I saw them in a stadium that is no longer in existence. It was in Philadelphia. It was the JFK Stadium. It was fucking huge. They tore it down, but
Yeah, I seen
that's big. It was the one with the giant floating pig.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
And the canoe in the beginning, they had the canoe. That was such a great. A great concert. I love that concert.
I think I seen the Division Bell tour.
Division Bell tour.
Yeah, it was in, I don't know, probably 94 maybe, a Giant Stadium.
That's where you saw them?
Yeah, and it was in the summer, I remember. Yeah.
Okay. All-time favorite band, Kiss. I saw Kiss in concert.
I seen Kiss too in London.
Oh, that's cool.
And Rage Against the Machine opened.
Did you live in London at the time? Or
No, I did an intern. I did an intern in London. Like I was a hotel restaurant management major, so I just went there. I worked in a hotel, for free. I got like tips, and for like 3 months I just worked in a hotel, and like they taught me the business, I guess. Like basically I just worked.
Cool.
Yeah, and I had to write a report. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I went there all alone. It was
concerts and stuff when you were in London.
Yeah. I seen Fish there, and then I seen Kiss and Rage Against the Machine together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing to be quiet. I saw Kiss in Philadelphia, and I saw Motley Crue in Philadelphia at the Spectrum. And I still have the buttons that I got from this radio station called WKRP, which was or WYSP. I'm sorry, not KRP.
That was a TV show, WKRP.
Yeah, WYSP. I know. I said, I'm like, in Cincinnati. I'm like, wait, no, that's not it. No, I used to love that shit too.
We're probably the same age.
Yeah, I'm 155. Yeah, like WMMR and WYSP. So WYSP, and it says Motley Crue, and that was the tour with when what's his name would do the vertical drums, and it was the big deal. It was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Tommy, what's his name? I can't think of his name now. The drummer, Tommy Lee, is doing the vertical drums. Like, oh my god, it's so funny, right? But it was cool as shit.
You know who I seen a lot? Rush.
Oh, I never got into Rush, but I know a lot of like guy friends that I had at the time loved Rush, and the drummer was like, everyone was like Neil Peart, a god and stuff like that. Yeah. I never got into them. I mean, I don't think they're bad, but I know a lot of people love them. Oh, this is cool. Metallica. I would have liked to have seen Metallica.
I've seen them once.
They're something else, Metallica, you know?
Yeah, the pyrotechnics were crazy.
I bet. I can only imagine. I've been to a lot of concerts. I like a lot of different genres, though. It doesn't just have to be like I saw Macklemore, and it was one of my favorite concerts of all times. And it was funny because I thought I was going to see Kesha, and I thought Macklemore was opening up for Kesha, but it was vice versa. And I'm glad it worked out that way because Kesha was trashed. And by the time we got there, she's like throwing bottles at people and stuff.
TikTok.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh my god, right? I'm like, we missed the concert, but then Macklemore came out, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy is like a vibe. Like, he is so amazing in concert. And if you like any of his music, you're gonna have fun because he's great. Yeah, that was a good concert.
Concerts are fun.
I used to go to mosh pits though, like when I was like probably in my like late teens, early 20s, like I would go into mosh pits. Like legit mosh pits, like where you're going in there, and as a girl, you have to be careful because they don't care if you're a girl in a mosh pit. Like, you're in the mosh pit, you're gonna get fucked up if you're not, whatever. And I went into one at an EMF concert, believe it or not, in Asbury Park. It was like this little bar. And I went into one, and this guy, he elbowed me, and maybe not on purpose, I don't know, but he elbowed me right here, like in my solar plexus. And then I literally knocked the wind out of me, and I fell on the ground. and I was really embarrassed, right? So I got up and I walked down. I sat on the steps for a few minutes, whatever. And then I got really, really angry and more angry. And then I went back in there and I knocked that guy right on his ass. I got his hands. But I used to do that. I obviously would never do that now. And I would hope any young people that I know wouldn't do that because it's dangerous. But I had so much anger. I don't know why. I was so angry and it was so much fun to get in a mosh pit and just like fucking like crazy.
Rage.
Yeah.
You ever see Primus?
No, but I like them. They're really good. I like them. I'm trying to think who I saw Jane's Addiction. That was obviously a one. That was
good, yeah.
It was awesome. That was at Fitchburg State in Massachusetts, and he like stage dove and everything. Like it was cool. Crowd surfing.
Oh yeah, that must have been wild.
It was really good. And then I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers before they blew up, and I'm not even joking. Like I saw them in a little tiny theater in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm trying to remember the name of it. If you're from Boston, people know the name of it, but it was really small.
And it's the Garden, Boston Garden, or no?
No, that's way bigger than this. This was Orpheum. It was called the Orpheum Theater in Boston. That's where I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers because I was listening to them when their first album, like they blew up when I was in college, like in the 90s, like 1990. They blew up with that album Under the Bridge and stuff. But before that, they had albums too, and I had seen them in concert, and they were awesome. But they have some really good songs. But then you hear like Flea is like this weird old guy that like dates young teenagers. And I'm like, why do they have to fuck up their image for? You know what I mean? Like I really loved their music when I was, you know what I mean? And now like I look at them, like you guys are all pervert weirdos. Like I just don't even listen to it. You know what I mean?
It's like Michael Jackson.
No, I will defend Michael Jackson till the day I die. Michael Jackson, innocent man. And actually I think he is one of the most talented musicians of all time. Yeah, I don't think that and not even joking, like Michael Jackson, they did what they are doing to Kanye, which is they destroy your reputation, they make it so you can't have anything, they take away your kids, they do all these things. And Kanye's like, to me, Michael Jackson and Kanye, in my opinion, are very similar. They're two people that were smart enough to like understand what was happening to them. Because in my opinion, a lot of these actors and musicians and shit, they forget what's going on because they're so happy about the money and the attention. They don't realize that they're really just being enslaved by all of this. And then they definitely still use, I don't care what anybody says, they still use MK Ultra. You can tell if you look at somebody like Britney Spears or a lot of the Disney ones. And even a lot of the pop stars have altars. What's her name? That one girl, when she starts, they have altars. Like they still use this shit. And so somebody like Kanye and somebody like Michael Jackson were able to break through that programming and fuck with them back. And that's why they destroyed them. And it's, I don't know. That's my opinion about them.
No. When I got into the Diddy stuff, I followed Diddy, the whole Diddy stuff. There was a lot of people talked about that in the music industry.
Well, you know what? What's interesting about Diddy is I heard all the stuff. Okay. I heard all the shit. And then I saw YouTube videos like Zendaya, testifying against Diddy, all this shit. They were all AI. I knew it was a lie. I didn't really know what was going on with Diddy. I'm like, I saw the video of what he did to, oh my God, what was that woman's name? I feel bad. Cassie. I saw him beating the shit out of her, out of Cassie. Right. And of course, like, as you know, it's not even as a woman, it's just as a person, as a fellow human being, seeing him do that to another person. It's terrifying. And I'm like, what a fucking monster. But it wouldn't surprise me if I saw the same video of like, I don't know, like the vice president doing, like, I'm sorry, that's just how I think of all of these people. Like, they're not like good people. You know what I mean? They're just not good people. And so it bothered me. But then, they start accusing him of trafficking and all this shit. And I watched somebody on here called Law and Order Ish. And she went over the whole case with the guy that was there. And they really didn't have a lot on Diddy. They never brought in kids. The media, because it was a closed trial, they fed us a lot of lies like they do with everything. And it was really interesting to listen to this woman. She's really good. And this journalist that was in there talk about what actually happened. They used that video with him beating Cassie, but that was never a charge. They
Yeah.
couldn't charge him with that because he had already,
She had an NDA. He paid her off already.
yeah, so that right there to me is unfair to show the jury. Like, I understand, like, people, eh, you know, and some women are like this, and I get it. Like, they're just like, no, like, he beat her, like, he should pay, like, they have to see it. But, like, from a legal perspective, they really shouldn't have been allowed to show that, in my opinion, because it had nothing to do with any of his charges. You know what I'm saying? It was fucked up. Like, if she wanted him to go to jail for that, she shouldn't have taken the 30 million fucking dollars.
You're right.
Okay. So that's my opinion. I'm sorry. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, you can't have it both ways. It's not okay. And I don't like it when people do that shit. I don't think Cassie did it on purpose. I think they put her in that position,
Well, you know
unfortunately.
what? Half these people, they were getting paid big money,
Right.
and they kind of agreed to it, and then they went back for more. They didn't do it once. They kept doing it. Like, if you go back for more, like, you can't just, and then all of a sudden a class action lawsuit comes out. You're a victim.
Yeah, I don't have any sympathy. It's just like the Me Too movement. I have very little sympathy for many of the women that came forward. It's not that I don't have sympathy for victims, because I do, but I feel like, first of all, it was manufactured, just like the BLM movement. Whenever it's not an organic movement, it's so fake. Like, nothing is authentic about this, and nothing about the Me Too movement was authentic. And it pissed me off more than anything, because anybody who goes into certain types of professions, like that, like acting, say, or modeling, even, a lot of those actresses really are, they legit are just escorts. Like, people don't realize, but they get hired out by, like, Saudi Arabians and shit like that, and they literally, when they're not acting, they're being escorts. Like, that's what they do. It's a fucked up industry. And I think a lot of people don't realize it till they get into it, and then, it's
It's
just
competitive too. You need
yeah,
an edge. Like, if you
yeah,
want,
it's
you
very
know,
competitive. And so if you want to make it, you got to cross those boundaries. And, like, once you cross that boundary, you're kind of like living the life you're living now is like, you're just going to owe a lot of karmic debt for that, because like, harming yourself is one thing, but when you try to harm other people, and some of these people just cause so much harm,
yeah.
like this whole Idaho case, whatever it is, right? Whatever you think it might be, the harm that it's caused on so many people, like psyche, like, it doesn't bother me this way, but I know that Sandy Hook bothered me this way. Like, Newtown, it fucked me up for like a while, because
That was children too. It's
it was children, and I had kids that age when it happened. Okay, in a kinetic school. I had to the school was closed. I had to go get them. That first night,
oh
like,
wow.
I'll never forget it. But then over time, because I am by nature a skeptic and also open-minded, I heard different things people said about it. I'm not going to get into it because they get really fucking worried when you talk about this one. But I just found so much proof that it wasn't anything of what they said it was. And then I just got really angry. And they just got really angry because I was traumatized by that shit.
You like Alex Jones?
I do. I think Alex Jones is like 100% controlled opposition. He's 100% here to make people feel like somebody is saying the shit that we all know is going on. But he is not on our side ultimately. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I gotcha.
yeah, like, I don't know if you saw, like, he's in Texas, and he's another one. Try to look up his history, because I've done it. And it's not
Okay.
easy. But anyway, his studio is underground in Texas. And when somebody went to visit him, I forget who it was, they mentioned, like, some of it, and it just sounded like it was like an intelligence agency. And I'm like, it's probably because it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's like like, who never liked him? Bill Cooper never liked him.
Oh, I know they tried. Didn't they try to put him in, like, arrest him over that Newtown because he was saying it was
Yeah, but you
fake?
know what I think about that? I call that bullshit. I call that 100% not real, never happened. File it under things that never happened. I'm
To
telling you
get
right
people
now.
off it, to get people off that it was fake, just
People,
they.
so that me saying it is even like maybe a problem.
Ugh.
Yeah, because it was, that one was so shoddy, and it's so, I could do like a full fucking PowerPoint. I know so much about this shit, but I'm not going to get into it. Just suffice to say, I mean, you could look into it, anybody could look into it, but they did that. The reason, I'm going to tell you why I know it was fake, because the person who put the photos out, like the photo op in the newspapers and stuff for that, the group is called Hearst. Hearst as in like Patty Hearst. It's probably the
Yeah.
same family. But they control all the media for that. And the photos that they put up of these people walking across the street and stuff, I pay attention to all these people when I see them later in life, because I have ideas about who they are and stuff like that. And so when I look at these pictures, it's so easy now. You just run it through a thing to see if it's shopped or not. And they're all photoshopped. None of those pictures are real of them walking across the street. Some of them are obviously photoshopped because of the height difference. And it's just crazy. It's not even real because nobody pays attention to that anymore.
Well,
If
shit,
you,
how do you get that? How do you get everyone to go along with that? That's the thing I don't get.
because they get something from it. And it's not like everybody knows, right? Most people are going to have, this is my opinion. This is what I assume, okay? I think, first of all, that town in and of itself, Newtown in Connecticut, I've been there. I used to go to the movies and watch old movies there in the town center. It's a beautiful town. It's a wealthy suburb of New York City, whatever. But that town is known for being like a place where like CIA people, are. Like it
Uh,
was always, you know what I'm saying?
okay.
And then like an easy thing to kind of look at is the initial videotape of the school. And there's two schools, and there's lots of confusion about the schools, and there's lots of confusion about a lot of shit. And it's just I mean, trust me, I spent years looking at it, and I have my own assumptions. And I would never ever, I'm going to say one thing, I would never ever say that nobody died, because I really don't know. But I don't believe it's anything like what they told us whatsoever, you know. Um, but yeah, it's fucked up. So
Yes. Yeah,
after that
something.
happens, and they're allowed to do it because of the Smith-Mundt Act. Obama made it so that they're allowed to propagandize American citizens. It used to be that we could only make propaganda for overseas, right? Because we're supposed to make other countries like us.
Yeah.
Now they make propaganda, and it's okay for us too. But that's all these movies. In my opinion, a lot of the movies are propaganda. They get us used to different ideas. Um, that's a big one. It's a big one of normalizing things. Like the whole simulation theory all came about after the Matrix. Now everybody's like, we live in a simulation. We're not real. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm a spiritual being. I don't know what the fuck you are, but I'm spiritual. Like I'm immortal. So
Yeah, I'm real. I work 7 days a week. I'm
yeah,
real.
yeah, exactly. Right, right. No, but it is fascinating, and I love to go into all that stuff. Like
No, that is interesting. I mean,
yeah, somebody I follow on that is called Archaics, and I've talked about him a few times on my channel. He's kind of a lot because he's very intense, and he's super smart, and he's read so many books, but old books, not just like any old book that because he was in prison, and he doesn't hide the fact that he was in prison. And he had access to like all these books in prison that the state libraries had that normally you wouldn't have, that were like from the 1800s. And he was originally Christian, so he set out when he first got in there to prove that the Bible was true, to like support it with archaeological findings and different things. But unfortunately for him, he found out that he couldn't prove that, but he was able to prove other things. And so then he calls himself a chrono, chrono, chronologist. I forget the name he gives, but he said there aren't any people like this anymore. He tells you from day one, like the history of the world, but it's not. When I tell you this guy has books upon books upon diagrams of like the guy's not full of shit. Like it's crazy. And he says that in the year 2040 there's going to be a big event called the Phoenix, which is just it's something that happens every so many years, and then there's a reset. And so some of his stuff is it's a little frightening to listen to, but he's got a lot of really interesting theories and reason. He backs it all up with books from the 1800s and 1900s and shit. So.
Interesting, though.
No, he's really cool. It's really cool. But it's overwhelming when you first start listening to it because it's a lot of information. And when I first started, and I don't know it all by any means, but I'm the type of person, like, if I like a lot of stuff he's saying, like he talks about giants. He wrote a whole book about giants. I bought it actually because they are real. Like giants did exist. It's not like a maybe or whatever. And he gives all the proofs for it and how they hide the skeletons. You can find giant skeletons. So like I said, if you go into the old newspapers, like the Library of Congress archives, you can search newspapers going back to like 1700. Those aren't a lot, but up to like 1963, and you can do any term, and I'll put things in there like giant skeletons,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
come up. They'll fucking come up. They're
Really?
there. Like they're not hiding. You know what I mean? So like eventually that will be gone. But right now it's still the microfiche snapshot or whatever on the Library of Congress.
Yeah, I remember the microfiche.
Yeah, remember that shit? And now look at
Yeah.
us. Now look at us. This is crazy. But the thing about it is, so the reason why there were giants, though, the reason allegedly there were giants, and he goes into this a little bit too, is that the atmosphere was completely different. We lived under something called a vapor canopy. Please wait. What's this say? Don't give him any more money. What's she saying? The vapor canopy. I think she's shitting on it. Like she could be. Hold on for a minute.
Says
Vapor
Miss
canopy,
Main.
Maine, mud fossils. I'd have never given that man. Oh, well, I did buy his book. So you guys think it's all bullshit. All right. Well, I honestly don't think he's full of shit completely. I'm not saying all of it's true. And I don't think the world's going to end in 2040. Okay. Let's just get that straight. But I will say one thing about the vapor canopy or whatever. That's how people got to be so big. And that's how the vegetables were big and shit. And the mud fossil shit, I don't know. You got to look into the mud fossil university. It's another whole rabbit hole you can go into.
Or mud fossil?
Yeah, mud fossils are crazy. It's crazy. Basically, like if you see, all right, here, I got to show you this because you know what? You got to see this to understand what I'm talking about. And when you see this, maybe you'll be like, "Oh, okay." So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I got to fucking find this. Okay. All righty. Let me go over here and then I'm going to share this.
Yeah, I'm more a 9/11 person. I think that was so.
Oh, I could go on and on. Next, you're going to see Santos Benucci is of sound mind. No, stop it, Tinsel. She's leaving now. She's mad at me. Tinsel, you can leave, okay? But like, I'm not saying like everything this man says is gospel. He just has a lot of really interesting things to say. But here, I do want to show you. Damn it, how do I share this? Because you got to see this. Okay, here we go. No.
We put an overlay, I think.
Oh, wait, I found it. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. Let me just pick one of these. Here we go. All right. Can you see this here?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. It's not a great. It's the Utroba Cave in Bulgaria is a natural horizontal fissure in a rock that has been further cut and shaped by human hands. Oh, so then never mind. They fucking shaped it this way. Never mind. It's a giant vagina, though. I'm jumping off the oh, I see. Okay, Tinsel. All right, so that was a bad example. So let's just go back. Oh, hold on. All right, I'll just tell you what mud fossil is, and then you can just check it out. But basically, there are certain, like, okay, I lived in Connecticut, and there was a oh, he was trying to find that one too, end of the line. See, we all are like the same mind. We all think about all this weird stuff, right? This is awesome. I love this shit. Yeah, because before Idaho 4, what were we thinking about? I mean, I had all kinds of stuff. I thought I'd heard of everything until
That's why they gotta change our narrative, because we're onto them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've gone down every rabbit hole. Someone's like, "Well, did you look into I don't know, they'll just say something so ridiculous." And I'm like, "Yep, looked into that one too." I'm like, looked at every one, damn it. Give me a new one. I studied the flat earth thing. I understood why they did it. I understood why they tried to make people, like, I did it all, when you get to the flat earth part of the internet, you've been down every fucking nook and cranny, But anyway, what were we just talking about? I'm sorry, I just went off on a tangent here, but
Muscle fossil.
Oh yeah, the mud fossils. So the mud fossils, right? Again, it's like when I lived in Connecticut, there was a place there called Sleeping Giant, and you could go hiking, right? Well, why is it called Sleeping Giant? Because it looks like a giant is laying down sleeping on his side, right?
Yeah.
Well, what these people who believe in mud fossils say is that, well, it actually is a giant laying down sleeping on his side, and he became fossilized, right? And that sounds a little bit fucking wacky and crazy. But then when you start looking at some of these things, and you can look them up, you can just search up like mud fossils that look like people or a hand or whatever. And I'm sure some of them will be bullshit, but some of them are real. And so this one guy actually broke down like these like lines on this I think it was like a tree trunk, I don't know, whatever it was, and he's like, those are the veins. And knowing anatomy, like what he was saying actually made sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it showed a heart that it looked like stone, but it looked like a fucking human heart, right? So I'm like, I don't know. And so the idea is that there was this flash flood and everybody like whatever. Is it real? I don't fucking know, but it's definitely intriguing. There's lots of research on it. They've sent DNA and allegedly it came back human. I don't fucking know.
You think that was planned, that flood that just happened?
In Mystic, that Mystic camp or whatever.
Yeah.
That really freaked me out because it was kids.
Yeah.
I definitely believe in whether the seeding is, I mean, they definitely do it. Like, yes, they're doing that. If they did it, I wonder if like the kids weren't there. I heard that that's like a very elite type camp or something.
Can they do it and like get out of control? Like, that's what I was wondering. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Like they couldn't control it. Like I don't know.
But what's the purpose? Like, that's the whole point. Like, if they're doing it, like, what was the reason?
Was it dry? That's what I want to know. Was it dry there? Has it not rained there? And
oh, I see what you're saying. Like, they needed some water, but they overdid it, and
yeah, like they don't know what they kind of like tested and like.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh fuck, turned it up a little too much that time, Bob.
Why'd you let the intern do it?
Yeah, exactly. There's a crazy story about this girl, and I can't remember her name, but I have to find it because I was obsessed with it for a while. But she's this girl in like upstate New York, attractive, in her 30s or whatever, and her family were all engineers, and they all like ran the water supply in that town. And something really crazy happened where like she was in a bar and like someone came up and shot her, and then it was a whole crazy thing, and like it sounded like an MK Ultra type thing, and her boyfriend was speaking out for a while, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And I know I have that somewhere, like I saved it, but I don't know where it is, and it's pissing me off. It happened.
Was it recent?
No, it happened like 5 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a crazy story. I gotta find it. And then, yeah, talking about Noah's flood, I saw they thought they found the ark, or they say that the ark is in Turkey. I don't know if you ever saw that. but they say the Ark is in Turkey. There's this big, like, it looks like a mountain, but it's kind of like in the shape of a big ark. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't. Turkey?
Yeah, there's people that say that that's where the ark is. And if you look it up, I think it's Turkey. If you look it up, it says Noah's Ark.
What?
Oh wait,
What?
here. Wait a minute. Let's see what she says here. Wait a minute. Sorry. I remember that case. Her psych was weird. She was recording their session. Yes, yes, Tinsel. Fuck yes. Thank you. Sorry, Tinsel like helps me feel sane sometimes. Here, I would not have believed anybody would know what the fuck I was talking about. And Tinsel, you nailed it because she was doing that. That's exactly right. And that's why I was thinking it was her psychiatrist was involved in shit, and she was recording the sessions, Eric, and that's why
Okay.
I thought MK Ultra was involved because I think her family was like elite, like they were like some bloodline, whatever the fuck, and it was a real thing, but they hushed it up real quick. And yes,
It's not next to the Nevium, right? Next that
no,
cult one that was upstate.
that one was weird. No, it wasn't that. This girl was she was legit like in charge of the water supply, which is like a big deal in towns, obviously, because you could put shit in the water
Yeah,
and
yeah, you could kill everyone.
really fuck up the town. So it's kind of important whoever these people are. And this family was like that family. And yeah, I don't know what happened to her. I gotta if I can remember her name, but um check out wait, hold on, let me see what this one is. Check out Ron Wyatt Discoveries. Okay, cool. Yeah. You think Donna Serafino would glow? I did cracked open. Well, well, I'm sure you already know this, Ms. Morningstar, that her last name is Lambert. You know who we're talking about, Eric?
No, no, no,
Donna, you know the psychic Donna Serafina?
no. I'm not familiar with that.
Where I heard of her was when she talked about the Lori Vallow case. I mean, she nailed it in the beginning. It was really kind of weird. Like she nailed a lot of the details from the very beginning. And so she became very credible, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So now she, of course, is doing the other ones. And she did Bryan Kohberger, and she says, yeah, absolutely. Come on, Winston, stop. So she absolutely it goes into how Bryan did it and everything. And yeah, but when you look into her, like it turns out like her last name is Lambert, and Lambert is like one of those family names. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah, I
saying
got a bunch of Lamberts where I live.
yeah. And there's another Lambert in this case, which is the whole drug connection that Pav was talking about. So it's just like one of those things. You start to see the same family names come up and stuff like that. But you know what's interesting? Did you guys Todd Siegel? Remember I did that little stint with Todd and Val Evans when they were talking about Idaho 4? Do you guys remember that, or do you remember it, Eric, at
I'm
all?
not sure. What what was it about? Like
This is crazy. So Todd Siegel, right? Todd Siegel is a psychic, okay? And he's actually, this is hilarious, but he's actually a pet detective, okay? In the real sense of the word, just like Jim Carrey, because he finds people's lost pets, right? Oh, that's cool, Lucy. She's friends with Val. Yeah, Val is like, first of all, Val Evans is so freaking pretty. All right, I'm just gonna say that. I just think she's so pretty. Secondly, she's very like elegant, and she just comes across as like very elegant, beautiful woman. But she reads astrology, and she applies it to crime charts and all other kinds of things. So basically, oh, that's cool. That's really cool. So anyway, she got together with Todd Siegel, who's a pet detective, but he also has been involved in helping people police solve crimes, like real ones. And so he's pretty credible. And so he's cool. So they got together and they did a series of things about like what happened in Idaho. And the thing that Todd said, he said the word frog. He said that was important, frog. He said the word green. He said that the perpetrators, he said there was 2 or 3, that they had a very bad smell. And it made me think of like somebody who like does meth, you know?
Yeah.
He said they had really bad teeth. They had tattoos, and he said two were involved in the killing, and there was a third, but he wasn't sure if that one was involved. And he said he didn't see, Kohberger anywhere, like even after they found him. And so he did a recent video as a follow up, and I was really glad he did because I wanted to hear about it. What he thought, and he said he's like, I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm not changing my mind. Like I know what I see, and he said there's something, this is just not right. He's like, I don't. Maybe he was involved or he saw something, but he he's not the perpetrator. And he goes, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. He already did, and this is what I thought was so interesting too, because I with Todd, in my opinion, and he might have said this, and it's why I think it, but he's not psychically like figuring out, like he is doing what do they call that? Remember men who stare at goats? What's that called? When they remote view. I believe he remote views. That's what I think he does. And remote viewing is a real thing, and you can really piece shit together when you remote view. But he does it really quickly. So I don't know. I don't know. But that's the thing with Todd.
I don't know. I think Brian realized he's not. He needs. If you're going to take credit for it, you can't be innocent. So, but I
No,
think
I know.
he wanted credit for it.
I agree. I agree. He pled guilty, and you know, I totally agree. I just thought it was interesting that Todd, because I like watch him a lot, like when he talks and stuff, and he's very sincere and comes across like he's not bullshitting. And I know like people think he's bullshitting because he's talking about what he sees. And it kind of like made me feel bad a little bit because he was saying how, and even Val Evans had said this, how like they were getting a lot of hate and shit over like what they were saying about the Kohberger thing.
Yeah.
And like some people just get like really upset about it. Like they think it's evil to like look at this stuff or it's supernatural, and like they get mad about it. And I'm like, what are we in the fucking Salem witch trials? Like, come
Yeah.
on, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn.
If you don't look at, if you like true crime, you better get everything goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they were getting like grief, and I'm like, they better leave them alone. Like, it pisses me off. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
whatever. When you're online, you're always going to be subject to it.
Yeah.
Everybody is. It's just what happens.
I got thrown out of 2 chats this week.
Oh, really? Why? What
Yeah.
are you doing? Calling people stupid or something?
No. I just they don't agree with what I have to say.
And so they just kick you out just because you said it?
Well, yeah. Well, after a few times, and like well, one of them, somebody like said something bad about like Kaylee, like, oh, like they had a picture of her in a bikini, and he's like, yeah, wearing clothes like this is how you get a Range Rover, and like I was like,
Oh my God.
that's uncalled for, you know what I mean? That's so I said get some class or something,
Hmm. Good.
and then just like a lot of the things that they, like just
I
said,
heard
like,
that
you say,
today.
why would
Your
someone
comment
plead
on them,
guilty
like how
a
they
month
look.
before?
What's that?
Like, why would somebody plead guilty a month before? Like, unless they had something. Like,
I know. I was trying to think, like, did they get some? But what would it be, though? I mean,
I think, I don't know. Steve, like, he did a video like a few months ago, maybe, and he literally said they got a video of him in front of the house, entering the house, and then he like stopped. I mean, I'll text you the exact video and exact timestamp. I got it in my other thing. I don't want to, but
that's a, so do we think I mean, the DoorDash driver, was that Brian? Like, I still don't understand how they fucking did a DoorDash and didn't see Brian.
like, yeah, and and she just popped out of nowhere too, like all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
it feels like after she popped out of nowhere, the plea deal became a thing.
Yeah, maybe that's what she's the smoking gun. But I really like the way Steve said this. Like he was like, he was pissed off at all the like pro burgers, and it was one of the video where he's like talking about pro burgers and YouTubers, and he's like, it's just these people, they don't even know the evidence we've seen, and he's like, they got him going in the house, parking his
Well,
car,
then
and like,
tell us, Steve. Show.
what, Steve? Right? Right?
Hello? Can you hear me? Sorry, guys. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Good. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. So, Eric, can you hear me? All right. I'm going to kick you. Yes, Lucy. Eric, I'm going to remove you and then add you back. All right. Let's see. Wait a second here. Okay. Yes, you were heard. I feel some validated, guys. Thanks. All right. My dog is really mad at me, so we're going to go take him. We're going to go take him outside for a second here. He's really excited now. So yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to come up, I don't know how to drop these links though. Now I'm on my phone because my computer died. This is a professional here. All right. We're gonna let the doggos out. So yeah, so what do you guys think? Ouch. Oh, damn. Yeah, I have 3 dogs right now. So all right, let's go. So what do you guys all think about what's going on? Like, do you think he's innocent? He's guilty? He's part of it? Like, what are your I'm going to see if I can add a link. So if somebody wants to come up, they can. Hold on. Let's see here. Invite. Oh, wait. Here's Eric. Eric, can you hear me? Eric? I don't know why. Likely innocent. Okay. I know. It doesn't seem like it's real. Like he could do that, right? Eric, can you hear me? Oh, it sounds like I hear you, Eric. Are you there? Eric's there. Everyone else is now uninvited.
Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, we can have a big old party here. I'm gonna add a link if somebody else. Um, let's see, copy. I'll just drop it right down here. Anybody else wants to come up? Oh no, I don't want to end the stream. I just wanted to send that. There we go.
Cool.
That's the link. So Brian's saying yes 5 times to those inaccurate facts is beyond my comprehension. That will never make sense. Yeah, that was so annoying to me, honestly. When Hitler was sitting there reading the PCA, essentially, even though he said it wasn't. What did you think about that, Eric? Like, what do you think about like how they're just trying to sell us this bullshit story?
I don't know. I think for some reason Hitler, right from the get go, is not on Brian's side at all.
Right.
Like, and like just with the IgG stuff, like he's like basically said, I really don't care how they got it. They got it. If the DNA at the crime scene, on the sheet, that's fine. That's good enough for me. Or how they got,
Yeah, that
how they
really
got it, I
bothered
don't
me.
care. There's
Yeah.
DNA on the thing, like, and
Yeah.
he was
That's
adamant
an
about it too.
right. And for me, like that's enough that like if I knew nothing else, just hearing that, it would piss me off enough to be like, you know what, maybe this guy's guilty. You know what, motherfucker? Like maybe this guy's I mean, sorry, maybe this guy's innocent, right? Like when someone pushes it that hard to that extreme, it's like you're completely ignoring like all of his rights. So now I'm like definitely on his side, you know? And I think a lot of it comes from that too, because first of all, he never did look the part, he still doesn't look the part. And then none of the facts make sense. And then the way they went about it, we all know it was bullshit. Like, so that's the problem with this case.
Yeah, I think he might have did it, but the way like they didn't get him by doing police work.
They didn't exactly. They didn't get him in a legal manner if he did do it. Yeah, it's definitely not legal, and that's why it's so bizarre that he pled guilty.
And the other thing is, if they wanted to set someone up, they could have set Kopaka up without anyone even talking about it. He was
Hmm.
dead.
No, I
Could have pinned
agree.
everything on him. They could have put anything they wanted in that house, and he had no say. They could. I mean,
It's true. We've heard a lot of rumors about that too, and that's also interesting because that's what got me on that other thing we were talking about, which is like Kopaka, like they show us all these different pictures that are Kopaka, but they looked at like different people, you know. And how about Kopaka's you know, the obituary or whatever? It said that he died from a traumatic brain injury.
did it really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Which is highly suspicious. It's like, come on, like why can't you just do one thing normal in this case? Why couldn't they have said like I mean, I get it, like maybe it was in they don't like it the way he was that well that's the other thing like if I was Kopaka's family I would be suing the state like well you guys killed my son, he's a vet, he's PTSD. None of that makes sense either, like it never made sense, it still doesn't make sense.
No, but if they framed him, it would make sense why they killed him. They could say, "Well, he's a
I
murderer. He had
agree.
all this." I mean, I don't. Why didn't they do that? Because I think they know who did it. Like
Right.
that would have
No,
been
I
easy.
agree. I
If you
agree.
want,
It's weird though, like you know, the first, but in a way, like I almost feel like they staged that whole thing. I know that sounds like insane, but like if you listen to and you watch like all the footage and stuff, like it's none of it, all the times are off. It's weird. First it's at 8 o'clock, then it's at 2 a.m. And then There's this one I heard in the beginning where, as the lady's walking towards towards the apartment, she goes, "No, it's no." She goes, "No, it's not that. It's the same initials, BK." She said, I remember her saying that. I'm like, that's weird because it's Bryan Kopaka, obviously, but Bryan Kohberger is also BK. So I thought it was weird that she mentioned those initials. Um, there's just a lot of weird shit there.
My initial was like Brian was the cleanup guy.
Yeah, yeah. Or even like, I mean, I don't know. I really like the Amazon Prime show, though. It was kind of interesting. One of the things that I thought was weird was the whole 911 call
Yeah,
and
that's
the way they
finished.
presented it. They didn't do a good job of accuracy there because Emily said that they got a call from Dylan, that they were gonna, and that she just thought, and she always did that, that she always called them because she was scared or whatever, and she was kind of childlike or whatever, and so they would come over and just be like, "There's no one here," and so she didn't think it was a big deal. And then Hunter also got called, I think Hunter,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. It was
You want
that whole call still
you
sounds.
want to hear my theory on it?
Yeah, sure.
They called mommy and daddy. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Bethany and Dylan said
Mm-hmm.
a roommate got murdered or whatever, and they
Mm-hmm.
said make like you don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Call somebody, a neighbor over, like there's something that heard or something. Let them come in
Mm-hmm.
and act like you just discovered that.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, tell me you heard some noises in the middle of the night, but you didn't know what it was. And
Uh-huh.
because I think what's her name? Uh, what's Dylan's stepmother? I think's a lawyer.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And the I know Bethany's parents got a lot of money or something, so they just intelligent
Yeah,
and
I mean, sure, like if they're educated people or whatever. I mean, honestly, anybody's kid, I would tell them to do the same. Get a lawyer. Don't talk to the cops. Are you fucking stupid? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like let's be real here. Like obviously, that's what I would recommend. So if that's what they did, I'm happy for them. I think that what's messed up is what the cops did, which is put their initials out there or whatever. Like people
yeah,
could have like somehow
yeah.
surmised it, but I think the cops messed up by giving those things out.
Well, my whole theory is the cops messing up with informants.
Yeah, from the beginning, right?
Yep.
From the very beginning.
And I always find it odd that Xana's mom is a criminal and getting out of jail for with major charges, and Maddie's dad's getting out of jail with major charges, and then they're busting people. Like that's just it's too much of a coincidence that there's two possible rat parents that, and then there's something like that goes on. It just
Yeah, it definitely is. Hold on for 1 minute, Eric, because there's a
yep.
little baby bird that can't fly away, and my dog's trying to get it. No, Archie, no, no, Archie, stop it. Come on, you're not gonna kill the bird. I don't know why. I don't know if the wing is clipped or something, but it can't fly away. I'm sorry. No, I agree. That I can't ignore that either. So where does that fit in then if Brian's gonna plead guilty, right? Like where does
So
that
I'm
fit in?
saying, so Brian knew these people, like, because maybe he bought stuff off them, or he knew them, and he's like, oh, I know how to do this, like, oh,
Uh-huh.
we should, oh, they did that to you, and they put you in,
Hmm.
like, oh, you know who I am? I'm a cloud forensic expert.
Right, right.
I've been going to school for this forever.
Yeah, right, right. I'm laughing because I just can't picture it, but it would be funny. Like, well, no, because one of the things Steve said, oh, he thought he was going to come in here and teach us his fancy, like, city cloud forensics or whatever, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I remember that. I'm like, dude, calm down. Like, some city slicker coming up in here, you know? And, like, but that's the reality is, like, I was thinking maybe he's trying to say, he was able to like fool a lot of it, but
yeah,
he didn't outsmart them. But it was the FBI he didn't outsmart.
yeah.
If it's, doesn't make sense though. It still doesn't make sense. The plea deal, like, can somebody just give us some kind of explanation so we can all sleep at night?
Steve will spill everything. Watch. Once he gets that gag orders up, you watch. Steve's pissed. He's whatever he knows, we will know soon.
No, I agree with you because I remember him saying a long time ago that he would keep his mouth shut and abide by the gag order. But if he ever thought like shit wasn't going the right way, like he would leak stuff. And that's why I thought he ultimately was one of the people that leaked stuff because
Well,
he said that he would.
yep.
And, but here, think about this. And it might be why ultimately they like, I'm just thinking if he leaks something, that could have fucked up the state's chances in some way. And they might have gotten the death penalty off because of that. And so in some ways it could have been the fault of the leak or that the death penalty was off the table. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. You know what else I made me from the beginning? I was like, why is in the beginning Anne arguing the death penalty right off the bat? Like the first, like she's trying to get rid of this. If he's innocent, that doesn't even come up. Like that annoyed me. Like why you get?
Um, it annoyed me too, but what I learned is when there's a death penalty case, like they have to, from what I understand, is that's like the most important thing. Like it has to be like you have to start working on that from day one, like you said, like because there's so many things that go into it, and that's why there you have to be a death penalty qualified attorney because it's a big deal. And this is why I think we need to just get rid of the death penalty. Like I think it's barbaric. First of all, just from a purely monetary standpoint, it's you're spending so much money on this death penalty because people get appeal after appeal after none of it makes sense. Not,
It
you know what I
takes too
mean?
long. It takes too long. You might
None
scare
of it
people
makes
if
sense.
like, oh, aren't you guilty? You're dead. That's how this works. It's not like that.
No, it's not, and I don't think it should be like that either. Just because I'm against giving the state the power to kill a citizen, period. Because that shit goes bad quick, in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
opinion. So
And
I
it
just don't
happened a
ever
long time
agree.
too.
Yeah, I don't ever agree, and I also don't agree with like somebody taking somebody's life. Like that's not equal. That's not justice. Like killing that person isn't justice. Making them, live in prison and labor and what, okay, that's
Yeah,
I get it, sure, you know, but
yeah. And it's not even
I
definite they would have ruled that either.
that's what's so crazy. Like I just don't. I wonder. Like I know Howard Bloom's book. It was all about his mom really didn't want him to plea, but then she decided because she didn't want to worry
Want to
about
hear
the
my
death
theory on that?
penalty.
Like, oh, he did it for his parents. His parents, this is going on for 2.5 years. If people have shit against his parents, they would have went after him. Or
I
he
agree.
thought
I don't
he's
believe
gonna
it's that either. That's what I'm
plead
saying. Like
guilty
I
and they
want.
won't go after his parents.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now now right, exactly. Now they're gonna
They're
leave him
safe
alone.
now.
No,
That
they're not
doesn't
gonna
make
fuck
sense to
with
me.
him. No, it doesn't make sense to me either. I agree. Steve was pissed though, and Steve already said a few things that were interesting. One being that other people, he thinks there's other people involved or something like that, right? You heard
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I wrote something down that I heard someone said he said. Oh, what is it? I don't know. You probably might have heard this too. Let me see. I got it right here. It's like something about being an asset to the state. O'Brien
What?
is an asset to the state.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Something like I wrote down legal 35.21. Like is a marshal's like service. Brian is an asset to the state. Like I wrote it down so I was going to look it up, but I never did. But I mean,
Hmm. I'm sorry if people are in chat, and I appreciate them chatting. Because I'm on my phone, I can't really answer the chat right now. So but no, it's crazy. No, but Diddy, we were talking about Diddy earlier. A lot of the charges, I don't think that they did have enough to prosecute him with. Honestly, I'm not saying he did or didn't do whatever,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like the ultimately like what I gathered from listening to these two people, one of them that was in court every day, it sounded like the news was claiming a lot of things that weren't even claimed in court. And that like the government was really reaching with this RICO case, which is something they've been doing ever since this RICO became a thing. You know what I
That's
mean?
where they went wrong with doing a RICO case. I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the elements to prove RICO, and so they're not going to do it. You know what I mean? And it's like maybe he did. If they're not there, it's like a Karen Reed thing. Like people are seeing through it finally. People are
Mhm.
not as dumb as everybody. Everybody's always like, "Oh, people are so dumb. I hate people." No, people are actually pretty fucking smart, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
not gonna.
I want to ask you this. You watch Karen Reed, right?
Mhm.
How do you compare the lawyers in the Karen Reed case to the Idaho? Like night and day. See what happens when you
Oh
have
my
money?
god.
And that's a big deal on a death penalty case. Like you gotta somehow tell your parents to sell the house or something. You need the fucking money
Hmm. Well,
if you're
she's
innocent. If you're innocent,
if you're innocent. No, it's true. But honestly, I think people are shitting on Ann Taylor and Eliza Mazoth, or however you say it. But I don't know. I think they did a good job. I mean, he didn't die. Somebody was talking
yeah,
about how
that's a
like
win. That's all she needed to
that's a
do,
win for
basically.
them. Yeah, that's a win for them. And I was like, that sucks, man. I don't want to get arrested in Idaho. Well,
Exactly.
you just won't die, Jen. But otherwise, you're kind of fucked. That
Ann
doesn't
Taylor's like
sound like
out
a
of her
win.
league. You know what I mean? All that evidence.
Yeah.
What does she have? 5 people working for her? Like it's just out of her league.
It's a lot. A lot. Eliza Mazoff's a good attorney. I mean, they tried. They did their best. But you're right. If he had a paid attorney, yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
is.
But the plea is just. Mm.
It's just, yeah, shocking. But then I mean, plus then you gotta look at like if he did do it, he wanted everyone to know. Like now this is
Uh huh.
he thinks he won too. He's not on death row.
Mm-hmm.
He could write,
It'll be like
and I
Ted
think he'll only
Kaczynski.
tell his
He'll have his
story.
own little like prison palace and like visitors and shit. He'll be like in prison eating filet mignon. I'm
Yeah,
just
like
kidding.
Dahmer.
I'm just
Dahmer lives
kidding.
the life for a little while.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I really the person I was most taken by in the Amazon documentary was Maddie's mom. She like came across as a very like classy lady to me. Like she just seemed like a really nice lady, but she also, in my opinion, this could be totally wrong. She reminds me of a mom that would be really fucking strict.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, why was, why did like it seem like Steve and his wife took care of her? Like, I get the, I just got that feeling like somehow that her parents weren't doing a good job. So I just don't get like it seems like
I
Steve
don't
was
know
like,
the whole thing either. I will tell you this though. When I was growing up, I, this is one of the things that really drew me into this case, if I'm honest, is Maddie and Kaylee because they're best friends from when they were little kids. And when I was growing up, I had a best friend who, like, literally, like, our last names were the same, but they were just spelled different. We lived on the same street. She was a house away from me. We were inseparable. And I would go to her house in the summer for like 4 weeks. I would go camping with them. I was always with them. Sometimes she was with me, but almost always I was with them. If people saw those pictures, like they would have said I was like their second kid. I was like a sister. My friend unfortunately passed away when she was 19. But up until that time, like we were, if you look, I would have pictures of like like Maddie and Kaylee have. Like I have a picture of me and her at a concert, like
okay.
so with her dad or whatever. So it's like I can see how that it looks that way, but it doesn't necessarily like I still lived at home. Like my parents were very good parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, no, I understand what
So
you're saying.
that's
Yeah, sometimes they needed someone to occupy their kid. Like I got you. They knew you, and
yeah, like my parents both worked and I had a lot of fun with my friend and her parents were always going camping and shit and they were like, okay, go camping. They knew them really well. And that was it. And it was an experience. So like I'm just saying, like, I had that experience, and like, I think some people do, and it doesn't necessarily. But I also question it too, because I think the piece that doesn't fit with that is how they still have her urn with Maddie's ashes. Like, why is that happening?
and I guess another reason, like the dad is portrayed as a drug addict, so I guess that's in my head where like I don't like, oh, this guy's a nice, he takes care of her, so dad's not in the right spot, and maybe she don't have money, you know what I mean, like he's broke or
But
something, like
her mom and stepdad seem like very capable,
yeah.
upstanding people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he clearly loved her very much. So it's like,
And also, why is this the first time we're seeing them? Like, like
well, they haven't really been in the limelight. The mom seemed like she really didn't want to be in the limelight. So
they look
she's
so
kind
much
of put
alike. Oh
off.
my god.
What's that? Oh yeah. Hmm. But the Chapins were interesting too. I mean, they're Stacey Chapin's all like, "Oh yeah, I'm just over this shit. Like, I this is
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
beneath
come
me.
on.
I'm not doing that's beneath me." Like,
I still
I
got
love
two
her
kids.
attitude.
Like,
Yeah, our kids aren't going there. Our kids are, but I love her though. Like, I'm teasing, but no, like, genuinely love her attitude. and
Yeah,
just
you could.
how, she tries to hold it together. I think she should let Jim like give some glue too, Stacy. Like back up and let the man take a little charge there. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, everybody grieves the same wrong every different ways. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like she said. She said they're not coming back. Well, I could say whatever I want. I could accuse this person. They're
Hmm.
not. He's not coming back. So I mean, then
Hmm.
that's the reality.
No.
But I like Steve's approach is like I would be more like Steve. Like I want to, and that's another reason why I think he knows who did it. Like he's not going to take someone and say, "Oh, this guy did it." Like, "Oh, he did it." Okay, okay. No, he wants to see who did it. He wants to know who did it. This is his daughter. He wants vengeance,
Hmm.
so he wants to make sure he's not
And
going to take their word for
he
it.
would have if he could have arrested them, he would have. You know?
Yeah, like, he's just not going to take their word for it. He needs to see proof.
Okay, Josie, upstairs. Come on. This house is crazy town. All these dogs.
How many you
All
have?
right. Well, I'm chilling. Like it's like I forgot I'm on a live. We're just talking. Thank you to everyone who's listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you for
joining
having
us.
me.
I definitely want to start doing like more routine like lives or whatever. So I'm gonna try to come up with something.
All
And
right.
because I have a lot more to talk about. I'm starting to get tired now. So
I hear you. I hear you. I'm game. I'm always game. Just let me know.
all right, and yeah, I think the next time I'll plan it and I'll let people know like I want to invite like people can come up and join us and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I'll do if it's anything topic like we talked about tonight. I'll research it.
all right, cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, thanks guys. Thanks
No
Eric for
problem.
joining me.
Thank you. Thank you very
And
much. Have a great night.
all right, we'll catch up soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.